For years, Lil Tecca has been known as one of hip-hop's most unproblematic stars. A melodic genius from Queens who built his empire on catchy hooks, not street drama or controversy.
I don't really think of it too much. Of course, I want the best for myself, and of course, I look into the top, but I don't ever think of myself as underrated because at the end of the day, I'm in a blessed position. To think I'm underrated or to dumb myself down is just like, my blessings.
But now his manager just posted footage claiming Tecca was hospitalized after fighting off 10 robbers in Paris to save his manager's life.
That's it.
Happy to see fans taking pictures just days before allegedly almost dying in a street brawl? Something ain't adding up. And what we uncovered is going to completely change how you see this entire story. A hospital bed, a bloodied hand, and one of hip-hop's most beloved young stars lying there, supposedly after the most heroic act the rap game has seen in years. New footage has just surfaced that's sending shockwaves through the entire music industry. Footage that allegedly shows 23-year-old Lil Tecca, the man behind Ransom, physically intervening to save his manager from 10 armed robbers in the streets of Paris. The clip has exploded across every platform, and fans are absolutely losing their minds. But here's the thing that nobody is talking about yet. What actually happened in those terrifying moments? And why is this story so much more complicated than anyone realizes? Now, before we dive into the absolute chaos that unfolded in the City of Lights, you need to understand the full picture of what was happening in Lil Tecca's life leading up to this moment. Because context, as they say, is absolutely everything when it comes to understanding how a young superstar from Queens ended up in a Parisian hospital bed with the entire internet holding its collective breath. It was late January 2026, and Lil Tecca, whose real name is Tyler Justin Anthony Sharp, was in Paris for one of fashion's most prestigious events, Paris Fashion Week. The 23-year-old rapper had been steadily expanding his presence beyond music and into the world of high fashion, and this trip represented yet another step in that evolution. He had already made waves by attending the Rick Owens Men's Fall to Winter show on January 22nd, where his boundary-pushing outfit choices had sparked significant buzz across social media.
Yeah, let's watch the...
That footage, captured by Fearbuck and shared across X, formerly Twitter, showed Tecca navigating the streets of Paris, surrounded by excited fans who immediately recognized the chart-topping artist. The energy was electric. People were literally stopping in their tracks just to catch a glimpse of him.
That's it.
Hi, happy to see you, Tecca.
But beneath all that glamour and excitement, something absolutely terrifying was allegedly about to unfold. Something that would send Tecca from the glittering runway shows to a cold hospital room in a matter of hours. The story broke in the most unexpected way possible. Giuseppe Zappala, Lil Tecca's longtime manager and the CEO of Galactic Records, took to his Instagram stories with a post that immediately sent the hip-hop world into a complete and total frenzy. The post, which was later taken down reportedly due to background music issues, contained a photograph that no fan was prepared to see. Lil Tecca, lying in what appeared to be a hospital bed. But it wasn't just that had everyone spiraling into panic mode. It was the caption, Zappala's words, though somewhat casual in tone, painted a picture of something absolutely extraordinary. He wrote, "Ig took my story down cause the song but tech good. He cut his hand saving me from 10 robbers. What a week it was. Still here, still good." 10 robbers. Let that sink in for just a moment. According to this initial account, the young rapper, a guy who was known more for his melodic hooks and cloud rap aesthetics than any kind of street confrontation, had allegedly stepped up and physically intervened to protect his manager from not one, not two, but 10 separate individuals who were attempting to rob them. The post was geotagged near the Louvre Museum area, placing this alleged incident right in the heart of one of the most famous tourist destinations on the entire planet. Within minutes of Zappala's post going live, the hip-hop internet did what the hip-hop internet does best. It absolutely exploded. DJ Academics, one of the most influential figures in hip-hop media, immediately reposted and screenshotted the story, bringing it to the attention of his millions of followers. From there, it was like watching a wildfire spread in real time. Major outlets including Hot New Hip Hop, Complex, Hot 97, Rap Updates, and All Hip Hop all picked up the story, each one running with the narrative that Lil Tecca had heroically risked his own life to save his manager from a vicious robbery attempt. The story spread across Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Threads, and countless news sites, with each platform adding its own layer of speculation, praise, and inevitably, doubt. The reactions were, to put it mildly, all over the place. Some fans immediately rallied behind Tecca, praising him as a hero who had shown tremendous courage in the face of overwhelming odds. Comments flooded in calling him Lil Protecca and celebrating what appeared to be a remarkable act of loyalty and bravery. Here was a young artist, barely into his 20s, allegedly putting himself in harm's way to protect the people around him. It was the kind of story that felt almost too cinematic to be real, and therein lay the problem. Because almost immediately, another faction of the internet emerged: the skeptics. These were the people who looked at the details and started asking some very pointed questions. Questions like, where were the bodyguards? Why would the artist be protecting the manager instead of the other way around? And perhaps most pressingly, Lil Tecca, a guy known for his introspective lyrics and melodic trap sound, allegedly fought off 10 people? Comments across social media ranged from supportive to outright disbelieving. One particularly memorable reaction read, "Wait, why is the talent protecting the manager?" Another commenter put it more bluntly, "Lil Tecca sweet did not fight off 10 PPL." The phrase "cap as hell," hip-hop slang for an obvious lie, appeared in virtually every comment section discussing the incident. Some fans found themselves caught in the middle, genuinely concerned for Tecca's well-being, while also struggling to reconcile the extraordinary nature of the claims with what they knew about the artist. After all, this was the same Lil Tecca who had once dreamed of playing basketball in the NBA, who had talked about his love of curry goat and family dinners, who had built his career on catchy hooks rather than street credibility.
Nice outfit.
Clear the way?
Yes, of course.
The juxtaposition was jarring. Here was footage of Tecca being the charming, approachable celebrity that fans had come to know and love, interacting warmly with strangers on the streets of Paris. And yet, according to the story making the rounds, this same person had allegedly transformed into some kind of action hero just days later. Meanwhile, the Paris Fashion Week footage that was already circulating took on an entirely new significance. Every clip of Tecca walking through the streets was suddenly being analyzed for clues, for signs of what was allegedly about to unfold.
Don't get hit by a car now.
Oh la la, madame!
The irony of fans telling Tecca to not get hit by a car while a far more dramatic story was allegedly unfolding wasn't lost on the internet. The comment section exploded with people reading new meaning into every interaction captured on camera. Some fans expressed genuine frustration, wondering why Tecca himself hadn't made any public statement. Others defended his silence, arguing he was probably recovering. The discourse became heated as hours passed without official word, a silence that only fueled more speculation.
So we open it. Back up, guys, back up. Open.
Looking at this footage now, knowing what we know, you can see the reality of what Paris Fashion Week was actually like for Tecca. Crowded, exciting, perhaps a bit overwhelming, but certainly not dangerous. The security around him appears casual because the situation was casual. The vibe was celebratory because there was nothing to celebrate surviving yet. But here's where this story takes a turn that absolutely nobody saw coming. Because as the hours ticked by and the speculation reached a fever pitch, something happened that would completely flip the entire narrative on its head. The truth, as it turned out, was far stranger than anyone could have predicted, and it reveals something profound about the state of hip-hop media, the power of social media narratives, and just how quickly a single Instagram story can spiral into an international incident. To understand what really happened, though, we first need to understand who Lil Tecca actually is, beyond the headlines, beyond the viral moments, beyond the chart positions. We need to look at the journey of a kid from Queens who went from recording diss tracks over Xbox Live to becoming one of the youngest artists to achieve platinum status without any features since Michael Jackson himself. Because this story isn't just about an alleged robbery in Paris. It's about something much bigger, about truth and fiction in the age of viral content, about the pressure facing young artists in an industry that can be as unforgiving as it is rewarding, and about a young man who has spent his entire adult life navigating the treacherous waters of fame while trying to stay true to himself. Stay tuned, because what comes next is going to completely change how you see this entire situation. Before we reveal the shocking truth about what actually happened in Paris, you need to truly understand the remarkable individual at the center of this entire controversy. Because Lil Tecca isn't just another SoundCloud rapper who got lucky with a viral hit. He's a genuine phenomenon whose story represents one of the most unlikely rises in modern hip-hop history. Tyler Justin Anthony Sharp was born on August 26, 2002, in Queens, New York City, to Jamaican immigrant parents who would instill in him a deep appreciation for both his cultural heritage and the power of hard work. Growing up in the Springfield Gardens neighborhood of Queens, young Tyler was exposed to a rich tapestry of cultural influences, from the dancehall music that filled his household to the sounds of 50 Cent that his mother told him were the soundtrack to his very first dance moves.
Straight dancehall, but definitely the stuff on the radio too. My mom told me the first song I ever danced to was 50 Cent song.
But Tyler's earliest dreams had nothing to do with music. Like countless young boys across America, he was absolutely obsessed with basketball. He spent summers playing at Springfield Park in Queens, dreaming of one day making it to the NBA, his favorite player being Derrick Rose. However, as Tyler matured, he came to a crucial realization that would ultimately redirect the entire trajectory of his life. He simply couldn't commit to the demanding lifestyle that professional basketball required. The early morning practices, the grueling training schedules, the relentless physical discipline. And so, around the age of 12, inspired by artists like Chief Keef and Speaker Knockers, he made a pivotal decision. He would pursue music instead. Now here's where Lil Tecca's origin story gets genuinely fascinating, because it started in quite possibly the most Gen Z way imaginable. His very first ventures into rapping didn't happen in some professional studio or even at a local talent show. No, they happened over Xbox Live, during gaming sessions where he and his friends would rap and joke around while playing Call of Duty. The first song he ever actually recorded emerged from a row session with one of those Xbox friends. Tyler dissed his friend's head shape, as teenage boys tend to do, and decided to record it using his sister's laptop and a free program called Audacity. He uploaded that 1-minute track to SoundCloud, and just like that, the spark was ignited. From those humble beginnings, Tyler continued making music, primarily diss tracks aimed at his schoolmates. These early efforts would eventually be deleted. He worried about snitching, but they served as the crucial practice ground where he would develop his distinctive melodic style. Interestingly, it wasn't his parents who first discovered his musical talent. It was his guidance counselor who stumbled upon his rapping before his family even knew what he was up to. Tyler would wait until he was actually making money from music before finally sharing his pursuits with his parents. By April 2017, Tyler had begun treating music as a genuine career possibility rather than just a hobby. He adopted the stage name Lil Tecca, a name suggested by an Instagram acquaintance based on shared username variations, and started releasing tracks in earnest. His debut single, Tecca, a collaboration with fellow rapper Lil Gummy Bear, gained some traction in 2017. In 2018, tracks like My Time, Love Me, Count Me Out, Molly Girl, and Callan started charting in places like the Canadian Hot 100 and the US Rolling Stone Top 100. But nothing could have prepared anyone, least of all Tyler himself, for what was about to happen in 2019. Ransom was a freestyle that Tyler created when he was just 15 or 16 years old, inspired by Juice WRLD's innovative style and featuring the trippy production and cloud rap elements that would come to define his sound. When it was uploaded to Cole Bennett's Lyrical Lemonade YouTube channel, something absolutely extraordinary happened. The song exploded.
When did you make it? How old were you when you first actually put the song together?
I think I was 16 or 15 turning 16.
Okay.
Either or, I don't remember exactly what, but definitely 16 or 15 turning 16.
Ransom didn't just chart, it dominated. The track peaked at number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100, amassed over 1.4 billion Spotify streams and 500 million YouTube views, and earned a Song of Summer nomination at the 2019 MTV Video Music Awards. A remix featuring none other than Juice WRLD himself would further boost its astronomical success. When asked about working with Juice, Tecca's response revealed a profound understanding of artistry that belied his young age, describing it as effortless and watching someone work with no buffer between themselves and their creative source. Just like that, Tyler went from being a high school sophomore recording tracks on his sister's laptop to a chart-topping phenomenon with a joint venture deal with Republic Records and Galactic Records, all before he could legally vote. But here's the part of Lil Tecca's story that doesn't get talked about nearly enough: the psychological toll that comes with achieving superstardom at such a remarkably young age. Because beneath all the success, beneath all the platinum plaques and the streaming records, there was a teenager trying to navigate an industry that has chewed up and spit out artists far older and more experienced than himself.
So if I'm in a really dark place, that can kind of leak into my craft.
Right.
And with 2020 being a really dark time in my life, it definitely leaked into my craft.
At one point, a young Tecca even publicly contemplated quitting music entirely, tweeting out his frustrations for all the world to see. When asked about this period years later, his response was both honest and reflective, admitting he was probably serious at the time, but chalking it up to being a volatile, impulsive kid adjusting to new life. Despite all the accolades and achievements, Tecca has maintained a remarkably grounded perspective on his position in the music industry. When fans call him underrated, his response reveals a maturity that continues to surprise those who meet him.
I don't really think of it too much. Of course, I want the best for myself, and of course, I look into the top, but I don't ever think of myself as underrated because at the end of the day, I'm in a blessed position. To think I'm underrated or to dumb myself down is just like my blessings.
And perhaps most importantly, through all the success and all the challenges, Tecca has consistently credited his family, particularly his parents, for keeping him grounded.
Who's that person in your life that keeps you grounded? Outside of yourself and self-reflecting, but somebody that's your go-to.
My parents, 100%, my parents.
The relationship he has with his parents is particularly touching, given the industry he operates in. They gave him space to find himself without trying to tell him who he was, letting him navigate his own path in terms of interests and the people he surrounded himself with. Even now, at 23 years old with platinum plaques on his wall, Tecca still lights up when talking about the simple joys of going home. The smell of curry goat or oxtail in the kitchen, with his parents still asking what he wants to eat when he visits. This is the Lil Tecca that the world has come to know and respect. Thoughtful, grounded, and possessing a wisdom that seems to exceed his years, which is exactly why the Paris incident was so confusing to so many people. How could this introspective artist, known for catchy melodies rather than confrontation, suddenly become embroiled in what sounded like a scene from an action movie? The answer, as we're about to discover, reveals something fascinating about the hip-hop media ecosystem and the power of viral narratives in the age of social media. All right, so at this point, you've seen the initial reports. You've watched the footage circulating online. You've heard the claims that Lil Tecca heroically intervened to save his manager from 10 robbers, resulting in injuries that landed him in a Parisian hospital. You've witnessed the internet explode with reactions ranging from pure admiration to outright disbelief. Now it's time for the truth. And the truth is something that nobody saw coming. Something that completely changes everything we thought we knew about this situation. In a development that sent the entire narrative spinning in a completely different direction, Lil Tecca's management team released a clarification that stopped the internet dead in its tracks. According to official sources, the Instagram story that had sparked this entire firestorm was, in fact, a joke, a prank. The whole thing, the robbery, the heroic intervention, the hospitalization, none of it was real. Let that sink in for just a moment. There was no robbery. There were no 10 armed assailants targeting Tecca's manager near the Louvre. There was no cut hand from fighting off attackers. The hospital photo that had millions of fans clutching their chests in concern was apparently staged, old, or entirely unrelated to any actual medical emergency. Complex, which had been among the first major outlets to cover the story, issued an explicit update stating that the initial reports were not true. The evidence, in hindsight, had been there all along for those willing to look. No police reports, eyewitness accounts, or official statements from French authorities about a robbery near the Louvre or involving the artist ever surfaced. Searches for leaked footage, CCTV, video, or surveillance of the alleged incident yielded absolutely no results. Only clickbait videos, screenshots of the original Instagram post, unrelated Fashion Week footage, or AI-generated and misleading visuals designed purely to drive views. The specific headline phrasing that many outlets ran with, terms like almost dying and new footage, just leaked, turned out to be pure clickbait exaggeration. The sensationalism machine had taken Giuseppe Zappala's joke post and transformed it into an international incident. As fan accounts began clarifying the situation, posts like those from dedicated Tecca Updates accounts helped spread the truth. PSA: this is just a joke. Tecca is fine, nothing to do with robbers. But of course, the clarification traveled far slower than the original sensational claims. What makes this episode so fascinating isn't just the prank itself, it's how it exposed the fault lines in hip-hop media culture. The story spread precisely because it played into existing tropes. Tales of rapper heroism, stories of artists being targeted in robberies abroad. These are familiar beats in hip-hop narratives, which is exactly why so many people were primed to believe them. But even before the debunking, skeptics had been raising red flags. Where were the bodyguards? Why would the talent protect the manager? Was anyone really supposed to believe Lil Tecca fought off 10 people? Some of the commentary took on a darker tone, with observers using the incident to make jokes at Tecca's expense regarding his fashion choices. Comments about his outfit choices at the Rick Owens show reflected toxic elements within hip-hop culture. Posts like, "Nah, he was looking a lil sweet with that blouse and them heels on now. Y'all trying to fix the image, huh?" exposed underlying prejudices in certain corners of the hip-hop community. But stepping back from the immediate chaos, this incident illuminates something important about Lil Tecca. Throughout his career, Tecca has maintained a remarkably low drama profile, often praised specifically for avoiding major scandals and public feuds. He has addressed critics who accuse him of capping in his lyrics by emphasizing that rap is an art form where not every line needs to be literal. This Paris incident reinforced something Tecca has demonstrated throughout his career. Authenticity doesn't have to mean playing into stereotypes or manufacturing drama for clout. The prank may have briefly captured the internet's attention, but it was ultimately just a moment of levity between an artist and his team, blown wildly out of proportion by a media ecosystem desperate for sensational content and willing to run with unverified stories. While all this chaos was unfolding, Lil Tecca's actual career continued its upward trajectory. His 2025 album Dopamine had already established him as one of the most consistent voices in melodic rap, and by year's end, he had achieved the distinction of being Spotify's most streamed rapper aged 25 and under, with over 2.3 billion streams.
So the next album is called Dopamine, and I really named it that just because I'm leaning into my pleasures more than ever, like in this chapter of my life.
The maturity he displayed in discussing his creative process stands in stark contrast to the manufactured drama of the Paris non-incident. He described the album as catchy music and pleasurable music, the album he'd been waiting to make his whole life. And when it came to collaboration, his approach was equally intentional, viewing his band as himself and his producers with no other vocalists needed.
What gives you dopamine?
Honestly, for one, music, like, a good song is definitely, like, a lot. It does a lot to me.
This is an artist who understands himself, who knows what he wants to create, and who has figured out what truly brings him joy. The Paris prank may have briefly thrust him into a different kind of spotlight, but it couldn't fundamentally change who he is or what he represents. Perhaps the most valuable takeaway from this saga is simple. In the age of viral content, verification matters. The speed at which unconfirmed reports spread, amplified by influential figures like DJ Academics, creates an environment where fiction can masquerade as fact. Lil Tecca himself has spoken about the pressures of navigating this landscape, and his words carry particular weight in the context of what just transpired.
From then to now, what would you say has been the hardest lesson that you've learned so far being in the industry?
No one's coming to save you.
Ever.
Yeah, no one's coming to save you.
That self-reliance has served Tecca well throughout his career. He came into the game with no big bros. He was his own big bro, the person he had to know in the game. This Paris incident, despite being fabricated, demonstrated his approach to fame. He can participate in the chaos without being consumed by it. What makes Tecca particularly interesting as an artist is his willingness to question himself, to challenge his own assumptions, and to use that questioning as fuel for his creative direction.
I kind of question everything. I question everything because that kind of leads me to, that's my direction. My questions are my direction.
So where does this leave us? The new footage that supposedly showed Lil Tecca almost dying while saving his manager. It doesn't exist. The heroic intervention against 10 robbers? It never happened. The hospitalization that had fans around the world praying for his recovery? A joke that spiraled into a full-blown media event. But what is real is Lil Tecca's remarkable journey. From a kid recording diss tracks over Xbox Live, to a platinum-certified artist who has achieved more before age 25 than most musicians do in a lifetime. What is real is his continued evolution as an artist, his thoughtful approach to fame, and his refusal to be defined by the narratives that others try to impose upon him.
16-year-old Tech, be proud that, like, first of all, I'm still going. Still got God close, still got my parents close, still got my family close.
In the end, that's what matters most. Not the viral moments, not the manufactured controversies, not the clickbait headlines designed to generate views and engagement at the expense of accuracy and truth, but the music, the growth, and the remarkable journey of a young man who continues to defy expectations while staying true to himself and the values his parents instilled in him from day one. And that, more than any fabricated robbery story or sensationalized headline, is what makes Lil Tecca's story worth telling. It's a reminder that in an industry often defined by chaos and controversy, there are still artists who prioritize craft over clout, family over fame, and authenticity over the easy path of manufactured drama.